Hey guys, what's going on? Before this video starts, guys, I just want to do a quick little intro. Believe it or not, I made this video on the day whenever Jags had said that this year is going to be Power of the Player. And this video will be quite long, as you guys can already see, but just bear with me. So I had an idea originally in this video before I saw anything on this thread. I'm just going to play the clip for you guys so you guys can kind of hear it. Now, an idea that I kind of thought about recently, I don't really know if this would ever work, but it's a pretty cool idea, I think. As you know, under RuneScape 3, you have the ability bar, and you can put abilities on there. This isn't like a great example. Let me use my melee one. I think it's the fifth one. Where the fuck is fourth? No, it should be this one. Yeah, this bar right here. Right, as you guys see, I have mostly all the melee abilities for like duo weapons. Now, in a way, this would kind of be like a bot, but I was thinking maybe if you use momentum, because right now, if you guys use momentum, you do actually use a few abilities. It automatically does use a few abilities, but it uses the shitty ones. It uses like the stun one for mage. It uses the one where it gives you the bleed effect. So this one would be that crap. It uses abilities like that occasionally, which is kind of okay. But I was wondering if they could update that to where it actually uses all the abilities on your ability bar that you have available at your character. So anyways, as you guys can see, I kind of had this idea, and at the end of this video, I actually even said, like, by the way, guys, that idea I had, I would just spit an idea. I kind of thought it was maybe a stupid idea. I just kind of was randomly rambling on about pretty cool ideas, and then I get linked to a thread that has 34 pages right now, and I think it has as well got some JMod responses to it, but I guess this other person right here, as you guys will see, had the exact same idea I did. I thought this was like a dumb idea at starting, and I know sometimes I have some crazy ideas. But it looks like someone else has already also made a video on exactly, or not a video, a forum on exactly the same thing. Exactly what I said right there. And it's gotten JMod attention, and I believe JMod's also said that they are going to bring it into the beta, and people can try it out and they can see if we like it or not. So technically what it is, it's going to be like momentum, but it's like using abilities sort of as well. It'll just be using the abilities that you have in your ability bar right down here. And that's how it'll work. So now, of course, there's a few things you have to think about, because obviously, like things like barraging abyss and like dags, you're using you want to do multi-combat with the barrage. So that wouldn't really work if you're using momentum. But I'm sure you can like toggle that option on and off. But anyways, without any further ado, guys, enjoy the video. You guys will see in the end of this video where I talk about it. At the very end of the video, I actually also said, like this might be a dumb idea, but hey, don't hate me. So it's nice to see that it's actually something that a lot of people are liking now. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to give it a big dick like, and I'll see you guys, I guess, in the next clip. All kinds of gains in this bitch. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm feeling a pretty long video here, so if you guys look at the length right now, I'm possibly thinking over 15 minutes. I don't really know yet. Depends on how far I get into it. I do have a little bit of a cold, so I might fucking lose my voice and have a lot of voice cracks, but let's go. Now, I'm not exactly too sure when I'll be uploading this video because I have a bunch of clips from my desktop right now I got to put together, so I'm not exactly sure when this will be up. But I know that obviously Jack's on their channel, RuneScape channel, whatever, they have made a video talking about how 2014 they would like to make it the power of the player, or something like that. I think 2013 they called it the year of the players or some shit like that, and that never came true. But hopefully 2014, the power of the players. Now, the power of the players, obviously, it's working on 2007 Scape, old school RuneScape. It technically is a power of the player. We vote on every single. That looked like a fucking visage. Goddamn, Abdul's coming here giving me presents. Yes, I'll be fire making the background as well. It's kind of hard to do both sometimes, because fire making is not the most AFK compared to like rocktails and woodcutting, but I can sort of handle it. So yes, the power. So technically, what Jax has also said, I'm not too sure if it's on a video, but I know that they're talking about it on the forums a lot. There's two things, from what I know, that we're not allowed to vote on. That's nice, give us restrictions. We cannot vote on EOC. We cannot say remove it. And we can also not vote on microtransactions with this, which is Soph, and I think Solomon as well. They included in there. I know Soph for sure, but obviously that would include Solomon as well. So you guys can already see where all the arguments have been starting. And I mean, a lot of people still miss pre-EOC. And as many people would say, the average answer to, you want EOC back, Jags won't do it, come play 07. And yes, I somewhat in a way agree with that. I mean, 07 is going to become pre-EOC sometime in the near future. You guys can already see things are coming, things are happening. Slayer Helm should be here soon, Slayer Ring. Pretty soon, if you guys didn't know, I believe as well, is that Zamorak Spear. This is something they haven't even done on RuneScape, the original. Zamorak Spear is going to become one-hand weapon because Super Anti-Fires failed. So fucking smart-ass J-mods that work on old school came up with an idea, hey, let's make the Zami Spear one-hand weapon so you can use it at, things like dragons, and you can use a DFS or an anti-shield at the same time. Technically, it is bringing back Super Anti-Fires, but it's not. But yes, I understand anyone that doesn't want to do that because obviously old school, you start from scratch, you have level 1 stats. You could transfer money over, I know that, but that's not going to help you with having to do rune crafting again and things like that. And as you know, if you're maxed on RuneScape free, it's a nice feeling to be maxed. You don't want to start at level 1 again, especially for me. I've started like 4 times from level 1 technically. And I mean, it's not, it sometimes does suck. I personally like it, but I think I only like it because I like to make videos on it and show people my progress. If I wasn't really a YouTuber, I don't think I'd really like doing things from scratch the entire time because, like, no one would really even know you did it from scratch. It's just like, who the hell are you? It's like, did you buy your account? It's like, no, I fucking did it myself. So I understand the fact that people don't want to start 07 because they have to start all the way from level 1 and Quest as well. Quest suck fucking cock. Now, for the very longest time, I've been talking about things like bring back a few pre-EOC worlds. If you guys know right now, actually currently on RuneScape 3, they're actually getting rid of a few worlds, I believe, which is going to cause a pretty big clusterfuck for things like warbands, I believe. But that I'll get into that probably sometime later on. But yeah, they're removing some worlds. Obviously, there's all worlds with like 100 plus players-ish, with like 100 or less people in it. There's quite a bit of free-to-play worlds as well. From what I've seen, there's like 10 or something like that. Some of them have like freaking 50 people on it, so I imagine they might get rid of some free-to-play worlds as well, which isn't a big deal, but obviously since Warbands is here now, it kind of does fuck us over quite a bit. It's going to be probably a lot of wars, but that's kind of off topic, I guess, but that's for anyone that does Warbands. You guys know it's coming sometimes. Alright, so now getting back on topic, I had to get a new task and my fucking Camtasia crashed, but anyways, getting back on topic now. So yes, I do wonder why Jags would not bring, I mean, I don't know, maybe they haven't thought about it yet, or they just say fuck no to that either. Why they haven't thought about bringing back a pre-EOC, a few worlds at least for pre-EOC. Maybe those worlds that you guys are about to get rid of, make those worlds into pre-EOC. Now I understand that might be a little bit confusing. There's a lot of things that you got to kind of take into consideration, like what will work. Like you can't use a Vertus book and wand and a pre-EOC server because that just doesn't fit. Like you can use a Staff of Light. I remember a long time ago, I also made a video talking about how this would honestly, it would actually help out the economy a little bit. Staff of Lights would become, like one of the best staffs again, besides Chaotic Staff. But it was always kind of like a little battle between those two because one costs money, one saves runes, so whatever. The price of whips would go back up, and people would be using Chaotics again. I'm not too sure about things like Drygords, if that shit would actually be in there or not. That'd be kind of up to the community maybe to decide. I would say yes, just so they don't like crash for any reason. They stay the same price, maybe even go up. But obviously you can't use like an offhand Drygor on like an EOC or pre-EOC world. So there'd be a lot of things that we would probably want to pull, but I think it'd be overall just good for the community to have something like that. Because I feel like this EOC versus like pre-EOC battle is going to go on forever. And Jags can honestly just end it just like that if they just decide to bring back a pre-EOC world. Or just a few at least, right? So you can do things if you want the old way or if you want the new way as well. It's up to you, I guess. And that, of course, if they brought back a pre-EOC world, you'd keep your stats and your quests and all your items. And there would be a GE, and it would go all, it would work for both EOC and pre-EOC worlds. It would just be a world just put in there, just like a PvP world, like where you can fight anyone anywhere. And PvP worlds, you can still use a GE, and all the rules still apply. It's just that if you walk outside the bank, you get killed. But in all honesty, I don't think Jax will ever touch anything about that. Jax really, for some weird reason, has people know that they're kind of insecure about what they do, right? They want to do something. They don't want to act like they were wrong about it. The fucking cat is scratching. Stop, you crazy bitch. But yeah, Jax will never admit their false, updates, I guess you could call it, right? They won't ever admit it. They're just going to move on. And, obviously, like you can see, we're not going to take Soph out. But I understand that, I think, because Soph is, it's one of the funds that Jax does use to have, to pay their JMods, to continue updating the game, right? That's the funds that they use. I kind of understand why Soph might need to stay. It sucks that we have it. It does. I wish it was in here, but I guess instead of finding a legit way to make money, Jax said, hey, let's just bring Soph in here. Now, an idea that I kind of thought about recently, I don't really know if this would ever work, but it's a pretty cool idea, I think. As you know, on RuneScape 3, you have the ability bar, and you can put abilities on there. This isn't like a great example. Let me use my melee one. I think it's a fifth one. Where the fuck is fourth? No, it should be this one. Yeah, this bar right here, right? As you guys see, I have mostly all the melee abilities for like duo weapons. Now, in a way, this would kind of be like a bot, but I was thinking maybe if you use momentum, because right now, if you guys use momentum, you do actually use a few abilities. It automatically does use a few abilities, but it uses the shitty ones. It uses like the stun one for mage. It uses the one where it gives you the bleed effect. So this one would be that crap. It uses abilities like that occasionally which is kind of okay. But I was wondering if they could update that to where it actually uses all the abilities on your ability bar that you have automatically. So like whichever one's available, your character will just automatically use it, so you don't have to keep clicking abilities. So it's almost like it's not EOC anymore. It's just that you are doing abilities, but you're not actually clicking it. You're still in the relaxed position for PKing, or I mean, not for PKing, for doing things like slaying and PVM and things like that. That's kind of a weird ass idea, I know. I'm not saying let's fucking do that, because then PKing is still not the way it's going to be, obviously, if your character just uses weird abilities. But as you guys know, I just recently went and got like 18 million Slayer experience, and I gotta tell you, most boring thing I think I've ever done in my life is doing Slayer on EOC. I hate using abilities the entire day. If you use momentum, it's hardly worth it at all. It's just horrible experience compared to using abilities. So you have to use abilities. It's really fucking boring. I really hated Slayer on RuneScape 3, and it's sad because it's my fucking favorite skill, and EOC ruined the shit out of it. But yeah, that was kind of just a rough little idea where, instead of using just the shitty abilities when you're on momentum, it could use some of the better ones, so it's a little bit better or something like that. Maybe it wouldn't work in PvP, but who the hell PKs with momentum on? You'd have to have momentum on, so obviously it wouldn't really ruin any type of PK that we have in RuneScape 3, because who the fuck PKs with momentum on? But I do feel like Jackson, in a way, does need to bring back some type of a pre-EOC world. Because, I mean, I know it's kind of immature for people to keep fighting about EOC and things. I personally don't really care. I'm glad I'm done with clicking abilities, though. I never had to click those shit again, and I'm done with it. I didn't mind it, but doing it for 10 fucking plus hours a day, it got fucking annoying. But I don't mind doing, like, Queen Black Dragon with abilities. That's kind of fun to do Queen Black Dragon with abilities. But after a fucking long time, you get bored of it, and it sucks. It's like, shit, I wish I could just sit here and kill it without having to do abilities. But if you use momentum, you don't hit anything like it. You might even die, I'm thinking, maybe. But I do want to make it clear, I'm not someone that hates EOC with a passion and refuses to play with it being in there. Obviously, I just kind of got used to it, and I just kept playing because I do enjoy the game. But it's something I would, if I had a choice, if it's 100% remove EOC, I would probably vote yes on that. But hey, I'm living with it. I'm not some immature kid that's gonna rage about it. It does suck having it, but that's life. Now, moving on from those two topics, which is probably the main ones, I still don't know how much I can trust Jax in giving us the power of the player. I mean, they've already set two main rules of the power of the player, which was probably the main things that people wanted to vote on, which was the EOC thing and the Soph and Solomon. But Jax does need those things to keep their dignity, I guess, to keep their pride. And with the Soph, of course, they need the funds. I still don't really see why Jax doesn't open up I mean, I don't know how much you could trust it, but like basically like a donation type of thing, kind of like the Well of Goodwill, but with real life money, and or I guess you could donate bonds, so that's technically real life money as well. Where you would donate it, I guess, yeah, include bonds in there because a bond is $5 no matter what. But some people might not have like a card to pay like a donate stuff, but just fucking accept donations basically to improve the game. If that's the real issue, instead of ruining the game with Soph and Solomon. Solomon doesn't ruin it too much, but it ruins kind of like if you have the, what's it called, the Dragon Keepsake. It kind of makes you a little bit confused. You see people wearing no armor, but yet they're in like fucking full Torva. Didn't ruin anything, but it kind of changed the view of it. Literally, it literally changed the view of it. But I don't know, I personally wouldn't have a really big issue with donating, but I could see why people wouldn't donate, because it's like, hey, why donate money when you can buy spins with that donation? It's still going towards the same thing. I get that, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe just doing a donation button wouldn't be a horrible idea. I mean, I would definitely say keeping the players happy is key to making this game more successful. And you can see that's happening on 07 for the most part. I mean, it's keeping the players happy because everything that it does update has been voted on equally, from what I know. And it's been passed by a good amount of votes compared to no. And it happens, and that's been working for 07. It hasn't really declined in players too much at all lately. It's been kind of staying stable. I'm not exactly too sure how RuneScape 3 is doing on that chart. I think it's still around the same as well. But there's definitely a lot more complaining on the RuneScape 3 end, things that people don't like, things that people hate. On 07, it's just like you log on and like you voted for what you're already doing, so you already enjoy it no matter what. But as for the other updates that we vote on, I really hope they do take it into consideration. Hopefully it works something like 07 does work right now, where you vote and it happens or not. I'm proud that they actually finally took our feedback for the whole the prestige system that fucking needs some work, kind of. They actually finally took our advice on that, and it didn't happen. So that's kind of nice to see something like that. You know, something huge that would impact the game in a big way was voted on. It's nice to see. Now, I did see a few comments actually on the RuneScape video that I actually really did like, where Jagex RuneScape channel, they could release a video where like a major poll is kind of happening, and they can release a video where it talks about pros and cons, that they can think, you know, that far into it. So let's just say something, for example, of something like Super Anti-Fire. Let's use that for example again, right? Super Anti-Fire comes into old school RuneScape. What's a pro and what's a con? A con is maybe DFS might go down a bit or something like that. Maybe that's not the best example because the Super Anti-Fire doesn't really, it only has like pros basically the way I see it. But yeah, basically take something that's from a poll and talk about the advantages and disadvantages of it, pros and cons, and then let people vote on it, right? Don't let people vote on it until, you know, maybe they see that video. I'm sure that video will go somewhat viral for most of the RuneScape players, which I guess is good for their channel as well. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I've also saw a lot of comments talking about how some players are younger and they don't really see exactly what the benefit of an update would be. They would just be like, oh, I don't like this idea, and that's all they think about. They don't think too far into it. They don't think like, wait, what would happen if this did happen, though? You know, like we're basically already said, Jags would make a pro and con video. That would basically explain to the people that are kind of too young to process all the things that would change because of this update. They'd have a clue on what's going to happen if it actually does happen. Because besides that, they're basically just blindfolded and they're just voting yes, no to everything. But yeah, I do definitely like that idea. Whoever came up with that, very smart idea. That type of thing would be nice to have, where they could just tell us what's going to happen if it does go through. I guess I'd have to think about that for a while as well, though, because there's a lot of things that sometimes are affected at least by an update. But yeah, I mean, besides that, I guess I gotta say I hope 2014 is a good year for RuneScape. I mean, I do hope the best for the game. I mean, I like the game a lot. I mean, I don't hate Jags or anything. I just wish that some things were changed for the better, and it can gain more players. That'd be great. I mean, technically, put it this way: if this game had 200,000 people online right now, we would not need Soap, we would not need Solomon. But unfortunately, they need the funds for that, so that's why it's there. But if we had that many players, I don't think Jags would bother putting that in there. And taking something like Soap away from the game isn't going to bring back 50,000 players. It's just not going to do that. That's not the reason why people quit the game. So, I mean, I guess at this point, it's still worth having Soap in the game. It doesn't make people quit. It just kind of makes people a little angry about it. But I guess how much they're making from it must be worth keeping in the game. Like I said, I personally don't like Soap. I don't like Solomon. I don't like any of that stuff. I wish it wasn't here, but I understand why it is. But anyways, besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk thingy McBobber. I didn't write anything down for this video. I probably should have, because I kind of covered a lot of things, but maybe I should have thought about some things. But anyways, besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed the longish video. And if you guys did watch the whole thing, give it a big dick like and comment below big dick gains. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hope you guys did watch the whole thing. And as always, give me feedback on what you think. Now, I will say before I do end it, that whole thing where I talked about the ability bar and random good abilities being used, that's kind of just a little idea I added. I'm not saying let's fucking do it, so don't fucking hate me if you don't like that idea. Anyways, besides that, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you